Welcome, everybody, to Fat Guys on a Little Podcast. I'm your co-host, Steve Markey, always joined by
Charles here.
And we got special guests straight from Kentucky today. Our own nephew, Christopher Hill. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing all right.
Big get.
And Chris?
That's why we're coming to him early, too.
Yeah, we got to get in before they have their road trip back to Kentucky. Chris, introduce your friend, your good friend.
This is Christian Paul Dickerson. I brought him
real
from
talk.
Kentucky.
This is Christian Dickerson.
So professional.
Fresh from the set of Varsity Blues. True Kentucky boy over there.
Yeah, so now the two of you just recently graduated, is that correct?
Yep.
And what school are you guys coming from?
Grant County High School.
Oh, man. What was that? The
Go
Fighting
Braves.
Braves. The
Fighting
Fighting
Braves.
Braves.
Yes.
I'm telling you, it's racist. I guarantee you. They bring out like an Indian and beat it every year. Stuff like that, I'm telling you.
So also today is Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there that have to deal with kids.
Mostly Christians, Dad.
I killed my baby.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, great.
Abortion
He's a
is
blast. He's a gem.
great. So, how many kids graduated with you guys when you guys graduated this year?
I think it was like 247.
Wow, 247.
It's bigger than ours. We were at $170 when I graduated.
Yeah,
So
we were 130, I think.
yeah.
So, and I guarantee about 20 of them didn't actually graduate. They had to go to summer school. A bunch of idiots.
And the rest of them were gangbangers in Detroit.
Yeah, no, actually, we were suburbs. Yeah, let me ask you that.
Hey, are you guys on the internet or what?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Oh, wow. How's that working out?
And so far, so good.
Yeah, we're fine.
That is, believe it or not, we do have a sister.
She's just as annoying as you'd assume.
She's our slave. Like,
Yeah, so,
Slave. Oh, easy.
jeez.
Shit.
Yeah.
sorry, maid. I'm sorry.
Easy. They prefer housekeeper.
Well, I need to take a shit. I'm going to go use your bathroom.
All right, good
Great.
to know.
And she's as annoying as ever.
So, Chris, you started growing up here. So, Christian, as growing up in Kentucky, what were your impressions of Detroit that you've heard over the years? Be honest.
That was nothing here in Detroit. Like, was so bad, and his family was all bad, and terrible people. But you're not. I like it. It's pretty nice here.
Oh, so it didn't live up to the bad expectations you had?
He hasn't been to the park.
Yeah, well, there's some parts downtown.
You didn't take
that'll
him to the
scare
city and tell him to get real? Kick his ass out, see how lippy he is in the city.
you. Oh, man. So now you guys have big plans, for obviously, now that you're graduating. Chris, what school are you going to be headed to?
Thomas More.
Thomas More, and you got to live on campus for a year? Was
Yep.
that what it was? Are you excited for that, or you look excited?
Thrilled.
And Christian, you said you're going to go into the military, right?
Yeah, the Marines.
Now you're just going to be in the reserves?
jarhead.
Are you reserves or full-time 4-year?
There's not a reserves in the
Oh, he
Marines.
said something
Yeah,
about
there
reserves
is.
last time.
Is there?
Yeah, I'm gonna be a military policeman in the reserves. Two days out of the month, and I'm gonna go to college for construction management, Sullivan University,
yeah. Friend of ours did that. He does good money. That's
and
good.
take
Good job.
over my dad's company.
Brandon does that. And you have to do basic training and all that for
No,
military?
yeah. Fuck, Parasala is gonna kick my ass. Private pile.
You looking forward to that? How long is basic training now? A month, 2 months?
3 months, and if you can stay down there as long as you want, if you. But if you
What,
get
do you
hurt,
want to like do extra time?
No,
if
nobody
you-
wants to
if
do
you
that.
get hurt down there, I heard that you have to stay there for a full year to recover,
Oh, jeez.
So don't get
and
hurt.
then you have to do it over again.
Why aren't you going with him?
No, I can't join
Look
the
at these
service.
skinny bones.
So you're looking forward to college, and you said biology you wanted to look at?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now, what fields or careers does that lead to that you were thinking about?
Like health-related careers, like, I don't know.
Sports
animals,
medicine, dentist.
and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Make money, don't struggle. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And now, as you're living down in Kentucky, you're still working at the Ark, right? And let our listeners know exactly what the Ark is down there in Kentucky, so anybody's interested. Wants
True
to see.
Kentucky.
Yes.
It's a religious encounter.
Well, they reproduced Noah's Ark, right? So someone built the Ark in Kentucky. Is the weirdest thing. Was it like funded by religious people? Is that
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah,
thing and everything?
organizations, yeah.
Yeah.
And do you like working there? Or?
Yeah, it's cool.
What do you actually do with the Ark? You just walk through it?
You
like
shovel
they did-
shit.
No, I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about if me and Steve as
visitors, what are
tourists
visitors?
went down there, what would I do?
You
at
get
the
to
Ark?
meet Noah and Jesus.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How much does he
Do
get
they-
paid now?
Do they have guys dressed up like Noah and Jesus?
No.
Oh, I thought that'd be funny. It'd be like when you go to Disney World, you see Mickey Mouse, you get a picture with Jesus.
Do they like try
You
to
should suggest that.
do they replicate where they held the animals and stuff? Is that what you're
They
doing?
have like different cages and stuff. Yeah,
within the boat structure?
Are they
Yeah.
real animals or animatronic?
they're like taxonomy. Taxonomy.
Oh, taxidermy. Big
So
animal.
stuffed animals
Yes.
are in a big boat that is based on biblical myths.
It's not stuff
in Kentucky.
Real animals.
No, but they're taxidermy. They're stuffed animals
Yeah, that's what taxidermy is. They take real
in a
animals.
religious boat in Kentucky.
Yes.
Okay.
They
How much
have-
do you-
But it's
Big-
not just that. Like, we don't really know how to explain it. You should go there and
I won't go
see
there.
for
But they, I might check it out. And then one of these times
Sounds
I go down
awful.
when I visit.
What do
these
you
guys, I'm
charge
gonna
to go
there.
to get?
Yeah, how much is it?
$50. Oh,
Maybe
and
not.
So okay,
the
so
buffet-
religion
the-
is charging $50 to see stuffed animals in a boat.
No,
Yes.
it's not.
Okay, I want to
Okay,
make
no,
sure.
I'm
I
not
understand.
trying to get fired here.
Oh yeah.
In a
Yeah, this
boat.
is his uncle's
Like,
theory. It's not
Wow,
his.
well, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We
Christopher's
love Jesus.
opinions are he loves Jesus.
Christopher's
His
friends
uncle's
love
a-
it. We're just being a little critical. That's all there is to it.
a liberal. All right.
So there's a petting zoo, correct? I heard there's a zip line. Is that one that there?
Yeah, it's
And then they have a giant gift shop and a big restaurant.
What do they sell at the gift shop at the Ark?
No, and
Ark memorabilia.
Can you
Like,
get like a
and
toy
they have
Ark?
a smokehouse. They got Zofars with Mexican and like hot dogs and hamburgers. Oh, and then they got a rolled ice cream shop. Oh,
He likes to eat his way around the Ark.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
that's the only reason I go. But heaven. And to see him shovel shit.
Oh man!
Nice.
So you're working in the petting zoo, is that correct?
I work at the zoo.
Sound like you worked at the restaurant beforehand, right? Mm-hmm. And so at the zoo, you tend to the animals and stuff like that. You get what do they do at night? They have to put them all in the barn or a pen
I
or
don't know. I
something.
only work morning shift. I haven't worked night shift.
Oh wow!
But yeah, they do put them up.
And they're gonna work around your college schedule when you go to college.
He's quitting.
Oh, you gotta quit. Oh, ooh, don't let anyone hear that.
Do they already know you're quitting?
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They probably see that. A lot of college. I'm assuming a lot of high school and college kids work there. Yeah, it's probably like Cedar Point type deal. A lot of kids going down.
It's like seasonal. Like through the summer and then the winter they let people off or something.
Oh, okay. So there you go. So there's the Ark in Kentucky. What city is that in Kentucky?
Williamstown.
Williamstown, Kentucky.
So it's by your guys' house, right?
Yeah,
Like it's
I moved. I don't live in Williamstown no more.
huh?
I don't live in Williamstown no more.
Well, didn't you guys live in
He-
Williamstown?
Yeah, we
he
used to live
moved.
5 minutes away, but he moved to Clinton and I moved to Georgetown.
He's more. He's a little. What is it? South now.
North.
No, he's north. I'm
North.
south.
I'm sorry. So there's a couple exits difference, and he doesn't live by the giant cemetery anymore.
Oh, okay.
So now you had your graduation party yesterday. Was it good
Yeah.
catching up with everybody? Did you have a
Yeah.
good time?
Yeah,
or
I really did.
Did you eat a lot?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess.
For Christopher standards,
Yeah.
you ate a lot. Christian, I know you ate a lot. You were eating milk
He ate
cookies.
more than me.
You were eating milk and cookies when I left.
Milk and cookies. Santa Claus?
Okay, I slept most of the time. I
Yeah, then he snored. He was snoring. So, but it seems like you had a good time. That's great, and I know your grandfather's probably glad to see you and all that good stuff. So, and then your aunt showed up also. Is that who that was? Aunt Kim. It's the first time you've seen her in a while. Or?
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't seen anybody in a while. So now, when you get older and you have a car, you gonna come up and see you eventually, or a little
Just
more?
say no.
Just no. Just gonna stay in
I
Kentucky.
don't know.
He don't know. He don't know what he's doing. He's
No one wants
living
to go
life
see
on the
that.
edge.
What are you
Not
doing?
coming up to see the family. Is that what you're
I
saying?
wouldn't either.
So there you go. So there's a look at Christopher's life, his high school life. Anything else you want to share?
No, not at all.
Oh man,
Did you two guys meet in high school? Is that what this is?
How long you guys been friends?
Like 4 years now.
Oh wow. And again, you guys didn't play sports. You just hung out and goofed off and caused
You didn't
trouble.
play sports, Meathead? What's going on with you? You didn't do nothing?
Well, I was in the band, marching band, but yeah,
Wow.
What instrument?
snare drum.
Snare drum. Oh, there you
Yeah, I
go.
play drums all the time.
How good was your guys' football team down there in the high school?
Ah, shit.
Oh, so they were like Annapolis in the South?
Yeah, but no, these are typical Annapolis kids that didn't play, but are going to critique them.
Oh,
Go
yeah,
ahead, guys.
No, I could
Well,
be
Christopher Kane,
I
he's
could
got a
beat half
medical
the
thing.
football team up.
Okay.
But they sucked because their coach sucked. Like, there was some good football players on the team.
Did you guys have like a full team? Like
We had 32 kids.
That's a decent size.
Yeah.
It's bigger than we had.
when we played, we had like
Yeah,
16.
but we played the best and got smashed.
Well. So you guys are as good as the Kentucky football team in real life.
Go Braves!
So now the summer's kicking up and the big movies are out and the video games are kind of lacking right now. But you guys go to the movies at all, or are you anti-movie?
I'm gonna go see Toy Story 4.
Oh, yeah, Marion's gonna go see it too.
Yep.
Yeah, I figured that'd be high on her list.
Forky.
Forky, yeah. I just
Yeah.
went and saw X-Men Dark Phoenix, and
You said it flopped last week when you were here.
yeah. If you guys familiar with the X-Men movies, you've seen an X-Men movie? No
Oh, yeah,
X-Men movie?
I've seen 2.
Yeah, well, this one sucked. So don't bother. Saw this
Well, so
one.
this is based on this. So this is the new class cast,
Yeah.
and it's telling the same Dark Phoenix saga stuff that the previous movies have told, and the show or the
Yeah.
girl
And
cartoon.
it was just boring. They just chased Jean Grey around
This is
for 2
totally
hours.
off topic, but did you guys think Endgame was good? Because I didn't think it was that good, as everybody
I
said.
don't think it was blown up as people make it out
Yeah.
to be. I agree with you there.
I thought it was okay.
I thought the time jumping shit was hokey.
And why the hell is Thor a fat ass man?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I appreciate anyone that's fat, but at the same time, they kind of ruined the Thor character, made him slapstick, made him look like dude from Big Lebowski. Yeah, so it wasn't a huge. I mean, Endgame made $1 billion. It really doesn't matter if you criticize it or not. It seems to be bulletproof.
Well, you had to
anyway.
finish the story.
Yeah, I mean, there's parts that are great and parts that are like, what, really? Chris, did you see Endgame?
No, not yet. I'm waiting for it to come out on the web box.
Oh, well, you might catch it at the Dollar Show now. I think it's headed to the Dollar Show. But Dark Phoenix, it covered the same story as the X-Men Last Stand. Some reason they love that goddamn storyline. It's Jean
It's
Grey.
great though. It's a great storyline. Like I
Yeah,
told
well,
you, the Uncanny X-Men cartoon that used to be on
Yeah,
was
the
awesome.
cartoon did it right. The movies suck at it. So
Oh,
don't
okay.
see X-Men Dark Phoenix. That's all I'm going to say about that one. It was a turd sandwich. It was just boring.
And this is the
they
last
chased-
Sony
Yes.
X-Men.
So now the next X-Men movie is going to be actually made by
Complete
Marvel.
reboot. Is it going to be? Are they going to
Yeah.
wipe the slate clean?
Yeah, they said
Oh.
they're going to wait 4 or 5 years
Sony
before
owned
that.
X Men or whatever.
No, they own the rights
Fox,
to make the
Fox
movies.
Fox Studios owned X-Men. And then Fox got bought out by Disney. So
It's
now
just like
Disney and Marvel
Spider-Man, yeah.
are going to make the next
So
X-Men
now Marvel
movie.
knows. I mean, has everything.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Well,
Well,
Marvel
they-
has
they-
their own stuff.
They don't have Spider-Man yet. Spider-Man's still owned by Sony.
Well,
Till
next
when?
year, I guess.
Sony.
As long as they abide
Sony's
by the
playing
contract.
nice with them,
Okay.
and so like everything they do with Spider-Man, they clear by Marvel first now.
okay.
So Sony may just keep it for a long time. It's just they got to do what Marvel.
But they
tells
have to
them.
have an annual in order to keep that going. if I'm
Yes,
not
yes, they got to
mistaken.
pump it's some form of Spider-Man movie out, which they do. Did you guys see the Spider-Verse? You happen to catch that one?
No.
The animated movie.
No,
It's
no,
not
it,
bad.
it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was decent.
It won the best animated movie at the Oscars.
Yeah, I liked it. I
I thought it
enjoyed
was
it.
gonna be crap. Wasn't that bad?
Yeah, I'm with him. I thought, oh, this is gonna be terrible, and I enjoyed the movie. So, yeah, so Sony's gonna pump out Spider-Man movies from now until all 4 of us are dead. So pretty much, they're gonna keep trying to make money. Now, this next one is called Good Omens.
What the hell was that?
It's on
This
Amazon.
is a good versus evil thing you were talking about?
This is there's an angel and a devil that've been around since the beginning of mankind, and they've become good friends. A
Oh,
demon.
Like heaven and hell.
Yeah, it has a lot of heaven and hell stuff
in it? Who
2
stars
British
in it?
guys. I have no
Randos?
idea.
Okay.
Yeah. The Armageddon's coming. So like Christopher's the Antichrist, right? And on
That
his,
checks out. He works at the
Thanks.
Ark. We've already cleared this.
yes,
You can't do this.
So on his 18th birthday,
Wow.
he's going to bring Armageddon with him, and then the angel and the demon kind of are friends, and they're trying to stop him from doing that.
Okay.
That's the gist of the show.
Was it good?
It's okay.
It's okay.
The biggest name shows up is John Hamm. He's in
Okay.
it. He plays the Angel's boss. It's very quirky. It's Neil Gaiman, who wrote the
Yeah.
American Gods and all that stuff. So you like his stuff, check it out. I've made it through 2 episodes so far. Now this next one, Charles was just watching. This is one you guys should go on. Tell him about
yeah,
this one.
so it's called Awake, the $1 Million Game. It's on Netflix. It just premiered. So basically, it's a game show that's kind of like Minute to Win It, but they take 7 contestants and they give them 24 hours and they put them in a room and they make them count quarters the entire time for 24 hours.
Now imagine not going to sleep.
Entertainment.
And then at the end of that 24 hours, you have to tell me how much you counted or how much you think you counted based on nothing other than your own memory of how much you remembered you count, remember your number. So then they bring you into like a Minute to Win It game show. At the end of that 24 hours, you still haven't slept. And then they basically tell you, like, whoever counted the least is immediately eliminated. Whoever was the least accurate on what they actually counted compared to what they said they counted gets bounced again. And then the other 5 continue on in this game show fashion where you basically do like Minute to Win It type games. I was talking to Steve before the podcast or whatever. And it's a pretty entertaining show. So, like, what you're doing is you're eventually competing to win all the money that everyone counted. And then if you're super accurate within $25, you can actually win $1 million.
Holy shit.
So it's a super entertaining show. And I'm just checking it out because I love to see, and I was talking to Steve about this again, how risky people are. Like, if you get like to me, a guaranteed 30 grand is better than like a 1 in 8 shot at $1 million. You know what I mean? Because like 30K, you can pay some bills. You
Chris,
know what I mean?
Chris would be like, I pay college at 30
Yeah,
grand.
it's crazy.
I know.
But it's very entertaining, and like I said, it's kind of like a Deal or No Deal meets Minute to Win It meets, I don't know what you call the 24-hour kind of thing, but the sleep deprivedness of everyone, you could just see their motor skills kind of going down and everything. It's a really entertaining show.
And that's a Netflix show. I was going to ask you guys, being the younger generation, do you guys are huge on Netflix? Or
Yeah.
is that what you primarily watch? Do you watch?
Sometimes.
I watch
Movies getting
YouTube,
old.
but my Aunt Marion and Mom and Ty, that's all they watch.
It's Netflix.
Is Netflix? Yeah. Check out The Awake on there. Big thumbs up for that show.
So, and then we were talking a little bit about Christian about this one, Savage Builds. This is Adam Savage.
So
right?
I talked a week or two ago about Adam Savage's book, Every Tool is a Hammer, and I'm a big fan of Mythbusters. So it was a Discovery show that aired for 14 seasons. Adam Savage is this big time maker. So what he does is he can like build things and do all these kind of crazy things. So this is his new show where he's separate of Jamie from the Mythbusters, and it's just Adam. And in the first episode, it's super crazy. He built a titanium Iron Man suit. Like he got a hold of Marvel Studios and actually got the true like 3D render specs of the Iron Man suit and had a company 3D print in titanium like the actual Iron Man suit. And then he also learned how to like, you ever see those dudes in like jetpacks that can fly and stuff like that? So he was learning that. So he's going to be in the Iron Man suit and then fly around like Iron Man. He actually shot the titanium suit and it was bulletproof and everything.
Oh my God.
Dude, it's a super cool show.
Now, what station or
This
show
is
it?
I'm sorry, this is a Discovery show.
on
So it's on
Discovery.
Discovery Channel, very similar to Mythbusters. And again, it's just Adam Savage.
So
But
he's building a working Iron Man suit, essentially.
yes, dude, it's super
Jesus
cool,
Christ.
man.
Is he going to solve crimes with this
No,
thing?
it's just it's part of. He's a big cosplay guy and all this kind of stuff. So he has crazy skills, like skills that are beyond. I mean, just his ability to like problem solve and make things is just next level on this planet. So like he was like, I always wonder what it'd be like to make an Iron Man suit. Marvel's like, cool, gave him everything he needed to do it, and he blew up a bomb in front of the suit and used these pressure discs to replicate how much of the shock would actually hurt you. Yeah. The suit protected the pressure discs. So this titanium suit is bomb-proof and bulletproof. It is just super
That's what we need
cool.
for,
And
soldiers.
it only weighed 25 pounds when the suit was done. It looked just like Iron Man. It's super cool show. Definitely gonna watch it. I was a huge Mythbusters fan growing up, and like I said, this just adds and just scratches that itch. So Savage Builds on Discovery, a huge fan of that show.
So, Chris, do you have any tattoos?
Mm-mm.
What about Christian? You got a tattoo? Or do you guys have any desire to get tattoos?
Yeah.
Oh, what are you getting? A
Well,
big
yeah, if
23?
You had unlimited
Oh,
money.
LeBron!
Besides the LeBron tattoo, what tattoo are you picking?
Roses.
What'd
What?
you say?
Roses.
Rises?
Roses.
Roses?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
And Christian?
Thug life across your
Mer-
stomach? I knew it.
No,
Marine logo. Marine
Yeah.
logo. I'm going.
no, actually,
Full Metal Jacket cover.
when I get out of the Marines, I'm gonna get a sleeve and all the stuff I've accomplished in the Marines,
Oh,
and
that's
then
not bad.
my past, which wasn't that good, on my right.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
he's gonna look like Randy Orton by the time
Yeah.
he
Woo! Just
He-
inked
ironically
out.
enough, Randy Orton was in the Marines.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think he got dishonorably discharged, but that's beside the point.
So,
So, anyways, Ink Masters is
yeah,
back.
so this is a reality competition on the Paramount Network. Yeah, I've talked about it before in the past with last season and stuff like that.
Master's cool.
Yeah, it's a great show. I know.
You watch it, Chris?
Our sister, your mom, is all about it and all this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, she was a tattoo master.
Yeah, she's
for a while.
way for that 6-month stretch. And
Now it's nails.
yeah, well, I'm just as bad with my hobbies. But so this is a reality competition. The coolest part, and I talked about it the last time I brought up Ink Masters, the judges on this show are so. If you like Simon Cowell for his honesty, you've got to watch Ink Masters. So these people get it. So Christopher goes and gets a rose by someone who's got a time limit and is struggling in this competition. Then he goes in front of a judges panel, and these panel of judges destroy Christopher's tattoo. And it's not like when you're singing when like you can just stop singing. Christopher's got that rose on him for the rest of his life. He's walking around with this busted rose.
while.
It is a fantastic show. Again, Heather and I watch it every season it
It's a
comes
good show.
out. It is a great show.
And what's this on?
It is on the Paramount Network or the former Spike TV network.
Okay.
And the couple of the judges, the guy named Oliver Peck, Chris Nunez, who was on like a Miami Ink show back in the day, and then what's his nuts from Jane's Addiction?
What's his nuts?
What's
One that was married to Carmen Electra?
Yeah,
I know
Dave
him, though.
Navarro is his
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
Yeah, he's the
What was
third
that
judge.
auction show that used to be on there? Was two guys, one heavy set, tall guy.
The what show?
It was an auction show.
I don't know.
But anyway, Ink Masters, and Christopher is a big fan
Yeah,
of
it's
it
a
and
good
stuff.
show.
So they do like really quick, like if you're into art, like the art of tattoos too, because they show you kind of like how they come up with a lot of their ideas and stuff like that. It's an entertaining show, and I'm a big fan of it. And it sounds like Christopher is too.
Side note though, did Trish ever get a giant rock tattoo on her back or anything?
No, not at all.
I know she was in love with
Not
The
at
Rock
all.
for a long time. So now that's where E3 happened a couple weeks. We'll talk a little bit later about that. Christian, do you have Xbox? Are you familiar with Xbox? Are you on there? Are you a PS4 guy? What are you?
PS4, but I kind of broke mine.
Oh,
I got
well,
pissed.
Is anyone shocked by this revelation?
I got pissed at someone for
Oh, there
Oh,
it
beating
is.
me at 2K.
then was it Christopher? Did you beat him in 2K? Made him break his
I
thing?
beat him
Tell
all
him.
the time.
I got your
Oh,
PlayStation. I got your.
It sucks.
So, Chris, you're down to Xbox now. You gave the PS4 to Marion, pretty much, and
Yeah.
you're an Xbox gamer. So they had a deal called the Ultimate Game Pass. It was
Yeah, I
only
got
$1.
Yeah.
Did you get it? You
Yeah.
signed up
For the
Yeah, I
month,
got
man, you
that.
can't beat it. I mean,
for $1.
It's
so
15.
I didn't have the Xbox Live Gold that you did, and did you already have Gold
Yeah.
before you signed up? It gave me Gold plus the Game Pass stuff for
$1.
$1.
Yeah,
it's pretty.
It was
cool.
on sale last week. I didn't know you didn't catch it. But if you have Xbox Live, like mine expires in October. They gave me the Ultimate Game Pass all the way up to October.
So
for
that's
$1.
cool if you already had the game Xbox Live.
Yeah,
and stuff
so
like that.
it's a
Yeah,
good
it's
deal.
great
It was because of E3. They were putting a big promotion out. So that's why I tried some of these games that are on here. I've been now.
I
if
got
you-
a lot of games from that.
Oh yeah, see, so
What's
some of the ones you liked on
What do
there?
you got?
Forza Horizon 4.
Yeah, I checked that.
I already
out.
own that one. That's a
Did
good
ya?
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a more the arcadey Forza games, if I'm not mistaken.
A little bit. They're still pretty
Because
tough.
Forza can get really like
Yeah, you hit
Gran
that gas, you're
Turismo
spinning out
kinda
pretty
thing,
quick.
Yeah.
Metro Exodus, I got that.
What'd you
and
think of that?
I think it's good.
Yeah, because Steve was talking about playing the Metro games.
I've been playing the first one now.
Was that 2033? Is the name?
I
of
forget.
it?
Yeah, it's
Something
a
like
first
that.
person shooter
Yeah.
set in apocalyptic Russia. You fight
else you
monsters.
got?
Ark Survival Evolved.
I don't even know what that is.
That's another first person shooter.
Is
I
it?
believe. Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it's good. And I got Monster Hunter World. There's just a lot.
I was
of
gonna
games
play
on
that. Is that any
Monster
good?
Hunter's on it.
Yeah.
I thought Monster Hunter was a big Sony thing, but 'cause it's-
Capcom.
Yeah, Capcom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so that's multi-platform.
Yeah, I haven't played that one yet. Have you played Monster Hunter though? Is it good? What are
I
you
played
doing
it
that?
for a little bit.
It's just a couple of you and some friends go hunt giant monsters and that's it. Is there a
Yeah.
story?
I think
or
there's
anything?
levels to it too. There's like
There's a
it's
story.
yeah. You gotta like also like you have to have a certain ability to capture certain ones and all that kind of stuff too. I could be wrong, but
Well, one of the first ones I played on it that everyone shit on back in January was Crackdown 3.
yeah.
I like it. It's enjoyable. I like those games.
Christmas is
The,
a
the
no
game's
go.
terrible.
Oh, it's superhero
I don't
Grand
like
Theft
it.
Auto. You're Terry Crews.
The
You get to
game's
run
bad.
around. It's
So is
short.
it?
It's not long.
Does it look like Terry Crews?
Yeah.
Is it like a 3D?
Yeah,
3G?
3D.
Okay, yeah, that's
So,
cool.
and you just run around.
Has he got his voiceover and everything too?
Yeah,
Oh,
he doesn't
okay.
talk much though.
It's like Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, it's like Grand Theft Auto, but you
It's
get
bad.
superpowers.
Don't be convinced it's bad.
The first two Crackdown people loved though, Christopher. Like people
Yeah.
loved Crackdown 1 and 2.
I mean,
this
what-
one kind
what-
of got panned when it
You
came
get
out.
giant weapons. You shoot stuff. You can steal cars. You can run up buildings. What? How's that any different than Grand Theft?
It's like a superhero meets GTA.
Yeah, that's all it is. So a lot of people shit on it. I enjoyed it. It's not very long. I mean, it only take you a couple days to crack through it. Ironically, Crackdown. But I say yes. Christopher says no. Did you even play it, or you just
Yes.
wrote it off?
It's
Yeah, I played
it sounds like something. If you did the Game Pass deal, it sounds like a great
Yeah, for
deal.
free.
Yeah,
I thought,
check
what
it
the
out.
hell? Yeah, I wouldn't pay.
That's the-
I wouldn't pay $60 for it. I'll tell you
That's
that
the
much.
thing with and we're going to talk a little more in depth about E3 here coming up. But like a lot of these first party titles, man, they're throwing to this Game Pass. This Game Pass is definitely something to consider
Yeah,
if you have
Gears
an
5 's
Xbox
coming
One.
on
Yeah,
that, yeah.
all pretty much all in that press
All the
conference.
Halos.
the
all
Tomb Raiders.
Yeah, the Tomb Raider games
Yeah,
are
those
really
are
good
good.
too. Yeah. So I did the Game Pass and I got the two. I downloaded the two Gears games I hadn't played. They redid the first Gears and then they released 4. And I
There's like
hadn't
all
played
4
those.
of them are on. I think there's 5 because there's one that wasn't numbered.
Yeah, there was like an offshoot in the
Gears of
same
War
universe.
Judgment or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, there's like 5 Gears of War games all.
That's
on
a
there.
great deal.
A lot of Halo
I gotta tell
games.
ya.
If you're into Halo, they're all on there. All the Horizon Forces are on there too. Even the 4th one. Except I don't think you get the Lego DLC.
I saw that there was a Mortal Kombat 10 on there, not the 11.
Yeah,
But it's still,
yeah.
I mean, it's a great value.
Well, the other fighting game that's on there is Samurai Showdown 2 because they got a new one coming out at the end of this month. The one that's on Game Pass though is just a remake of the old crappy one from like 1993.
I've never played a Samurai Showdown game.
Street Fighter with weapons.
Is
Best
it?
way to describe it. Yeah.
Is it very like a button combo kind of thing, like quarter circle,
quarter circles,
yeah.
and block. But the problem with this one, it looks like ass. It looks
Oh,
like
okay.
it's 8-bit. I only played for about a half hour. I was like, okay, I gotta
Steve's
go.
like, gotta
this,
go,
This is
yeah.
terrible. I'll play the new one when that comes out.
Yeah.
So there you go. Now, one of the things we did for Father's Day over the weekend, we went to Henry the Hatter.
Yeah, so my birthday's coming up, and it was Father's Day, and I wanted a nice fancy chapeau for my birthday and everything like that. So I hit Steve up, and then I hit my father-in-law, and we tried our dad, but he had to work.
Yeah, tigers.
Yeah. So I found this place. It's like a Michigan institution for all things hattery, apparently. Like, it's called Henry the Hatter. There's 2 locations. There's one now in downtown Detroit, which Christian's afraid to go to, but nonetheless. And then the one we went to, because it had a little later hours, I had to go after work, is in Southfield on 10 Mile Road. This place is impressive. I mean, I don't know how you guys felt or how
I liked
Steve
it.
felt. Because the thing about a hat, Christopher, as you got like some puff of your hair, and a hat you got to try on.
Yeah, you can't buy it
You
online.
can't do it on the. I mean, I guess the only thing I'd say is if you went there, kind of saw your size, but wanted an alternate color, you maybe could go online or. But a hat is one of those things I don't think you can really do the internet thing with. But like this store, man, we were in there. It was a random Friday, and there was a handful of people in there. Mm-hmm. It really is a Michigan institution, and they fit me and Steve. Steve's got a really large melon. I got a decently large melon.
I got a
And
watermelon for
We
a head.
walked in and got hats, and we're hatted up and suited out and ready to go. And I thought the place was really cool, and I just wanted to talk about it today. I thought it was a really
Was it
cool
pretty
place.
big?
No, it was Steve compared it, and it was right, like a Hot Topic kind of size in the mall.
Okay.
Kind of very small, but a lot of showcases on the side. The girl who worked there, and I feel bad I didn't get her name. She
made her
worked
go back
really.
in the back 50
She worked
times.
really hard. I was looking for my specific hat because I'm looking for my Rocky hat, and she nailed it. She went up into their like back stock area and pulled it down. Great customer service. It's pricier. I mean, I'm sure I could have saved a few bucks if I went online, but like I said, I think that with a fine hat, you need to go into an actual hat shop, and it was a great place.
And you guys aren't big on hats, right? You don't like
No.
baseball hats?
No.
Even you,
I
I
Christian?
wear baseball hats.
A
Yeah.
couple baseball hats?
Like-
You never wear a hat, Chris?
No, not really. No.
Neither one of you wanted a cowboy
He wears
hat
a
being in
visor.
Kentucky? Oh, you like the visors. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it was.
Yeah, I don't know. Me and Steve, we love a good hat. My father-in-law likes a hat, so it was a fun trip. So
Now, this next question's for Christian. Growing up in Kentucky, do you give 2 squats or anything about hockey?
I don't know anything about hockey.
Have you ever watched an actual hockey game?
No.
Yeah, I didn't
But I
think
didn't grow
so.
up in Kentucky. I grew up in Ohio, Virginia,
Oh, whoa.
Tennessee, and Kentucky.
Damn,
Jesus,
you've
someone's
been everywhere.
have you ever been to Canada?
No.
No.
Have you?
Yeah. What about?
Yeah.
I mean, we're only 30 minutes away from it.
Really?
Yeah, you'd need a passport now if you wanted to go over there, though. That's the only downside.
yeah.
Back in the day, you didn't. You can just go over anytime you want. So the Stanley Cup Finals wrapped up. Chris, did you watch any of it? Any hockey
No.
for you? No.
No, I thought
So-
you were a huge hockey fan.
Yeah,
That's all.
being from Detroit and the Red Wings, no.
They need to talk to Colton.
Oh, Colton, your friend Colton's into hockey.
Yeah, big.
Oh, and he grew up in Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
How do you become a hockey fan?
I don't know. Who's he root for? Does anyone know?
No.
Oh.
Who'd be close to Kentucky? The Blue Jackets?
Can you name like 10 hockey teams,
I
Chris?
can name
The
them.
Red Wings, the Chicago Blackhawks. I guess that's a team.
I
And
can
that's
name
about
one.
it.
How many can you name, Christian?
One. Cincinnati Sonics.
What?
What? Is that like a
That's
minor
a
league
minor league?
team?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
I don't know any,
Oh, man.
I was like, that's not it.
I know some dude named Patrick plays
Are the
hockey.
White-
He's really
are the
good.
White Sox
Kane is his
baseball
other
Patrick
name?
Kane, yeah, he's on the
really good.
Blackhawks.
Is the White Sox baseball team or hockey?
Oh my
baseball.
god.
So the St. Louis
Blues first cup by that
in
organization.
about 50 years, right?
I think it's the only time they've ever won.
Oh,
I could
okay.
be wrong. I don't want to. I by no means am I into
last
hockey
game
that
wasn't
deep anymore.
exciting. It was 4-1. It was
Yeah.
kind of a turd, but
But I would say that the results are shocking. I don't think a lot of people picked that. You know what I mean? Like most people were kind of pulling for the Bruins.
yeah,
and that
yeah.
was kind of a shocker.
Especially being in Boston for St.
Yeah.
Louis to go in there and thump them like that. No one
Right.
expected that. So congratulations to the St. Louis Blues. Now let's talk about a sport that Chris knows. Christian probably knows a little bit about as well. Did you guys watch the NBA Finals?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then when is your Raptors jersey coming in the mail, Chris?
Ah,
When you gonna get that Kawhi jersey
yeah,
now?
exactly. I was always a big fan, Uncle Steve. Like, no, you weren't.
No, we're
Yeah.
just messing with you. It was a good series. I enjoyed it. Did you watch it? I thought that. Did you? You didn't get to see the end of the last
I didn't.
game.
I saw the first half, and then it was my bedtime.
Oh, that
I had to
ending-
He said
go.
it
He
was
was
my
in the game and
bedtime.
Thompson didn't get hurt. It was
Yeah,
gonna
if
be
Thompson
over.
didn't get hurt, game
He was
6, it would
wet.
be 7.
He did get hurt. He did get hurt.
But I'm saying,
Last
like,
game. But part of the sport
Toronto
is to stay
deserved
healthy.
to win that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, I think Toronto did a great
No, they did
job.
great.
I think it was a great series. I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys have an opinion or something.
No,
It was
my friend just-
exciting. I don't know.
Yeah.
My friend just loved them, and I wanted the Warriors to win just to.
Oh, just to rub it into his face. Yeah, I understand that totally. Now, interesting fact though, Toronto went 4-0 in Golden State this year.
Yeah, they
During the
did.
regular
Oh.
season, they beat him. In all 3 playoff games, they beat
Good
him.
on that, man.
So you can't really hold it too much against
I
them.
also enjoy
And they beat
kind
him
of.
when they had KD and they were all healthy. in the
Oh,
regular
so the
season.
asterisks are made up
Yeah,
in
so screw that.
I tell you what, just kind of like the Blues, it's always neat to see a different team get over.
Yeah,
it's always
yeah.
entertaining.
I mean, who's
to
not tired
see.
of Golden State at
Yeah,
this point?
it's always a good time.
Well, when Anthony Davis comes to LA, it's going to be different.
Well, that's the next
Real
big
talk.
NBA news. When Chris, take it away. Who did the Lakers sign yesterday?
Anthony
Fresh off
Davis.
the press.
Yeah,
Anthony,
Travis
and how
Brown.
the
excited are you?
unibrow is headed
very
to
excited.
Tinseltown.
Very excited.
Now they gave up 3 players. That ball kid that's annoying. His father's
Yeah.
annoying as hell.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, he's terrible. Whatever. And then 3. My big thing: 3 first-round draft picks for the next 3 years, including this year's.
So Steve says they basically
They gave up their
mortgage the
future.
future.
And I understand that LeBron's a certain age. You want to
Anthony
win now.
Davis is the future.
How old is Anthony Davis
24.
though? He's got to be older than 24.
No, he's 24.
He's that young?
Yeah, he's-
I thought he was like 32.
no.
Yeah, he's
gotta
feels like
be
he's
old.
been in the
He's
league
young.
forever. So
Fact check. He's got to be older. Than
Okay, check it.
So what do they do now? They're going to need one more player, right? So
No.
yeah, they will. They'll sign
I know
somebody
he's in
else.
his 20s.
Anthony Davis is.
26. He's close.
Yeah, he's not. He's. And what about that unibrow though? He can't wax that.
The unibrow game is strong with that gentleman.
So Christopher's excited. You gonna get
I-
you an Anthony
That's
Davis
a good
jersey
6
now?
years.
Huh?
That's a good 6 years of him being dominant.
I guess here's my issue with the NBA, okay? These super teams are it's just so stupid. I don't understand as a league. So if I live in Kentucky or I live in Milwaukee, I can't root for a local team.
Yeah,
it's
'cause you know, as soon as their contract's up, your big player's leaving.
It's just you
Yeah.
get a max deal somewhere
That's
else
why
with
the
your
Pistons
buddies.
suck
It's
so
like,
bad.
what is the point of this? And everyone, and I'm sure Christopher will argue me up and down. I still think the NFL's the biggest league and it is the biggest sport in the country. But
is.
everyone's saying that like NBA is passing the country, going to the world like it's the biggest sport.
Well, it's because
and-
they can play it in other countries.
But-
You really can't play
Tennis.
football.
I think that,
Tennis is pretty good.
but as a fan, so if you were to go to and live in like I said, like a Milwaukee or something, you're only going to get like 8 good games a year when when these few super teams
Milwaukee's
show
a bad
up.
example because they're really good now.
Yeah, but I'm saying like
until
okay,
until
but
the Greek freak leaves,
No,
and then
just-
they're gonna suck.
I find it weird that they have it set up in such a fashion that
Yeah.
LeBron can just basically
Pick his
go
friends.
somewhere and say,
Yeah.
"Come on, dude,
Yeah.
let's go play some ball." And yeah, that's fun to watch when you watch a Laker game, but like. If you're in any other market, you're just like, this sucks. Like, what do
Yeah,
I watch
yeah,
right
it's
now?
And there's a rumor there's going to be another big signing by the Lakers. They don't know who yet. They don't think they're going to get Kawhi Leonard, but someone almost that
If
caliber.
they get
might-
Kawhi Leonard, oh my
Kyrie Irving.
God. Yes.
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, I think
They
he
would
needs
be
to come.
unstoppable.
But like, how is that entertaining? I don't
It's not.
understand that.
Well, then
That's-
you just wait for the Lakers and Golden State to play
Yeah.
each other because that's what you're.
Yeah.
So, but
pretty
hold
much
on, so
waiting on.
but-
Everybody's leaving Golden State.
But the
Golden
problem
State
is with
would be,
that theory, Steve. those other teams still charge you to go to the games
Yeah.
and do all.
yeah.
You know what I
Wow.
mean? Like, what do you? I don't know. It's just it's kind of broken.
It's not as much parity as in the NFL.
That's what I'm saying.
The NFL, even if you have a crap team, you always feel like you have a shot.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the Bears. They went to the playoffs and they sucked the year before.
That's what I'm
Where
trying
the
to
NBA,
say.
you know, it's Golden State.
Yeah.
And, well, Toronto kind of came up a little bit out of nowhere. Everyone thought it was going to be Philadelphia.
Yeah,
this
but
year.
then like everyone's saying that.
No.
A lot of people did nationally.
But the problem is
Milwaukee.
with those scenarios, like even you
Milwaukee
said,
was a big one, too. It was
Milwaukee's got a
Toronto,
decent
and Philly were
roster.
the top three
But the
in East.
problem is, as soon as
Shooters.
contracts go and they become free agents, they just go and play with their buddies somewhere
Well,
else.
they've been doing that since Miami did it with LeBron. and all
I
them,
don't
so-
know, man. It's kind of bumming me out. I'm just like, well, how
Yeah,
did
the Warriors was straight an all-star team this year. 5 all-stars.
Yeah, I don't
They get
get
Boogie
it.
Cousins. They got everybody.
And people look at me like I'm crazy because I'm like, well, what's the product here? I don't understand.
But as far as you said earlier about Golden State, now they fully believe Klay Thompson's going to stay with them. They think KD's going to stay with them now because he's hurt, and he's not going to
His
sign
market
him.
value's
He's
gonna
going
go down?
to play his last
No.
year there before he leaves. So a lot of people have
No,
been
he's gonna
saying
leave.
Boogie Cousins going to leave. He's going to try to get a bigger contract somewhere, or DeMarcus Cousins. So
I just like his name Boogie.
Yeah, I don't know why
I
they
like
call him Boogie. I
That's a
don't-
cool nickname. I gotta
Boogie the
admit,
Hoodie.
I love calling him Boogie. I do. I like it.
So we'll see what happens in Golden State. They're got a lot of question marks right now, and even if they abandon a lot of the players, they'll still be pretty.
The
good.
big thing
They
is,
got
does
Donkey Dick and
Kawhi
Cody.
stay in Toronto?
Yes.
You think so? That's
think
the big
he
If they
Stan?
just won, I don't see why he wouldn't.
Well, Kawhi Leonard's
He's
a
a
quiet
Los
guy.
Angeles boy, though.
yeah, I'm
He's
just saying
from
they-
LA.
they just-
No
not
one
was
can
there.
figure him out. Like he's really quiet.
As Valeni calls him.
Yeah, yeah.
They unplug his battery.
They
at the
say
end of
he
the year.
loves-
It is Kawhi.
He's probably around the same age as Anthony Davis, I would assume.
He's been in the league for a while too with Tony Parker. A while.
They say he wants to go to the Clippers because he's from LA.
Yeah.
If you're going to LA, why not just go to the Lakers at that point?
And why not just go win a championship with LeBron
for
and his
real.
best friend?
Yeah, I know. So I don't. If you go to LA, might as well just go to the one that's good to figure out spell Kawhi. Yeah, there you go.
Close.
And Kawhi Leonard is
27. He's still young too.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he had a year off because of his he had a bad knee for a while, so he's got a year rest under his belt
Where's
too.
LeBron? 32, 33?
Yeah, somewhere in there. So NBA will be interesting next year. Gonna see a lot of new faces in a lot of new places. What are your guys' thoughts?
Zion.
What are your thoughts on Zion? Some people say no. Some people say yes. What do you guys think?
He's great.
And Chris,
It's going to be hard to live up to expectation.
that is true.
Yeah.
Gonna
He's such
disappear
a
'cause he's-
physical freak, though, man. Like, there's something. I mean, you know, you don't even need that much basketball instinct when you're like that. I mean,
Yeah.
he is like rock solid and enormous. It's
Yeah.
like, dude,
he blew out a shoe. He moved so fast.
I mean, it's just,
You know, Nike was so upset about it.
yeah,
They're like,
dude.
out of all the shoes, he blew out ours. So yeah, but the problem is he's going to be in New Orleans and he's going to just disappear because he's down in New Orleans for 4 years, and then once he gets out of there,
But
then-
he'll go play with his buddies somewhere else. It's so
Yeah.
but New
weird.
Orleans gets the
RJ
fourth
Barrett.
pick too, so they could get two potential
Where's
stars.
RJ
in
Barrett
this
going? I
draft.
forgot.
RJ Barrett. Look it up, Charles.
Just we'll find out.
No, he don't go. He's in the draft with Zion.
No, but where are they saying he's going?
Yeah, predictions.
Yeah.
Well, one of them's going to head to the Knicks, right? Knicks are dying for somebody, anybody.
Yeah, probably RJ.
They said Kyrie Irving might head up in
Wasn't
New
there
York
discussion
too.
that the Lakers was going to get Zion?
Yeah, but well,
They're
Lakers.
saying the Knicks take RJ Barrett,
That's
according
what
to
I'm saying.
So there you go. Yeah, the Knicks are thirsty. They want somebody. But.
Zion, LeBron. Okay. That's enough.
So there you go, a little NBA for everybody. Chris is really into now. The other thing Chris used to be,
one more before you pivot away. The other thing too is, how do you watch just like regular season baseball? How does anyone enjoy regular season basketball?
I like it Christmas Day because that's when I start watching.
There's no
some.
intensity to it. They're
There's
just
for some reason Christmas Day. Those are like big.
they
games.
play their ass off on Christmas,
and then it goes back down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
around the spring. The spring's
And then you
when
watch
it's
the All Star game, and then the teams that are still competitive after the All Star game will play some,
All-Stars
and then the other
don't
ones will
even
tank.
I can't hear you, Christian.
The All Stars don't even try. when they play.
I don't know, man. Like, and to the point, like playoff basketball is very entertaining.
Oh, that finals,
You know
those
what I mean?
crowds
It's
were
kind
into
of
it.
like the same thing with like March Madness because like,
Just like
that's
football.
entertaining.
Just like
but, well,
NFL.
but the thing about football is you only got. I think that if football adds more games,
gonna
I think
lose
it's a
some of the special,
misstep.
yeah.
I think that keeping that season so tight is what adds the intensity of it.
Every game counts, especially in
But
college.
I'm not a
and
billionaire owner of a football team.
They
so,
won 18 games. They've been trying to get that for a
Yeah.
while now. Cut down to
But,
two.
you know,
two
they're
preseason.
blaming all the CTE and the injuries.
Yeah. Oh, last thing before the NBA. What do both your guys' take on Drake? Annoying? Not annoying?
Fuck him.
Yeah, exactly. I like
Nah.
it. Oh,
Annoying as
man.
hell.
He,
Nah.
the
Not
thing
not
is,
music wise, just on the sidelines
Nah,
at the
he-
Toronto Raptors.
He's got so many
He
people
was
blowing
so
him right now.
annoying.
He thinks he's part of that championship.
He
He
literally-
legit
He's,
started-
he's Canada. That's Toronto.
He
We the
literally
North.
got the hat.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm telling you, like I've never seen. Like Jay-Z doesn't, take advantage of all, but he's even an owner. Like he's not a net
Drake
player.
just walks on the course, just rubbing guys' shoulders.
Yeah,
What
and
are
it's
you
just
doing?
accepted
He can,
behavior.
he
Like,
can
oh, it's
always
just
follow
Drake,
him.
I don't know.
He's
And then
annoying.
he launched music alongside of it, stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't get it.
The Drake's annoying for us older folk. Younger generation might like him, except for Christian. He don't like him either.
Well, he's a pretty good rapper, but like he's annoying as hell at a basketball game.
Yeah, I agree with him. So now, Chris, have you followed wrestling lately? Have you still into wrestling or don't care about
I
wrestling?
don't watch wrestling anymore. No.
Yeah, it's hard to watch. Christian, did you ever like wrestling or watch wrestling?
I know. Didn't that UFC girl? Not UFC. Yeah,
What was his name?
Ronda
Brock
Rousey.
Johnson?
Yeah,
I mean
she
Brock
went there.
Lesnar.
Lesnar. Oh my god, he's a beast. That's the only one I'll watch.
So two young guys in WWE's demographic don't give a crap about WWE. They might be a little worried.
I don't know.
So my 3 minutes rather is going to be quick. June 10th was the last Raw. Lowest ratings of the year. They're
But you
struggling.
as a wrestling fan told me that after
all
a certain
fake.
playoff,
Oh, yeah,
I
of
mean,
course. We
you're
all
not
know
you're not revealing anything, Christian. But like
but I
you
don't
said
know
that
why
there's
you-
a certain window that it's more interesting, and we're in that lulled period.
Yeah, but it's really low. 2 million people watching. And
What is an average?
At least a good show would be 5 million.
Oh,
It was
okay.
a
So
lot
they're
better
down by
back in the day.
50%. That's significant.
And in their heyday, they had 30 million people watching.
Oh, okay.
So 2 million.
30 million.
Yeah, in Attitude Era. Yeah,
That's back when it was good.
in
Yeah.
the 90s. Yeah, and you also got to consider, internet wasn't as huge then.
I was just about to ask.
There's no
Rocket
Netflix.
Do
famous
we
because of
do we
WWE?
blame it on the product they're putting out, or do they blame it on the fact that we have so much?
No,
Like
it's the
Christopher-
product because it's dog shit. You watch Raw, you're bored out of your mind. It's terrible.
I guess, man. I don't know.
Chris is prime. I mean, he loved it. He liked it at one point, and now it's like he can't even sit through it. So it's so bad. I don't know what they're doing. It's terrible. But just a little look, and their stock have gone down.
Yeah,
we
well,
were in the
you have
80s.
2 million, you're gonna drop. I
Yeah,
mean,
we were
yeah.
in the 80s. Now the stock is at 70.
What?
so-
So you're a stockholder in the WWE. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're very important.
That's how I
Is
roll.
this affecting subscription base? I'm assuming it must if it's down that hard.
they don't really report the subscriptions that often.
okay.
So
So they dance around that
yeah,
point.
they usually
Okay.
report it right after WrestleMania because that's when the subscriptions are highest.
Yeah.
And then they don't report it again until like.
So
next
what's the
WrestleMania.
next? What's the next like big pay per view?
Well, SummerSlam's in August, but they got some crap one coming up. I don't know. the name
That's
of it.
what. So SummerSlam's the next marquee.
Yeah. They just had that one in Dubai or wherever. the hell
Yeah,
it
where
was.
Goldberg screwed up.
Yeah, and two old guys wrestled each other and hurt each other. Goldberg and Undertaker wrestled each other in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, it's because they got washed up. Oh, right.
Yeah,
And then the new stuff, the storyline is just terrible.
Yeah, and Goldberg went to hit him in the turnbuckle and missed and really knocked himself out for real. And then they screwed the ending up so bad. These two old guys, they need to retire. They're both over 50 and they're still wrestling.
Yeah.
Did The Rock, Dwayne, did he get?
Dwayne, you're on first name basis with The Rock. Listen to you.
You call him Mr. Johnson.
Okay, so you and DJ were hanging out. What now?
Did The Rock get famous from wrestling?
Yes.
Is that what he started with?
Wow.
God, you guys are young.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, you knew that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't.
So you just really never
Like,
did
whoa.
follow it. Yeah. So now, are you familiar with Chris
Yeah.
Justino, the
Cyborg is a big deal.
Big
yeah.
thing WWE is trying to sign, or she wants to sign with AEW. She wants to become a professional wrestler.
Well, because it's
Big money, easy work. You don't
it's
really get
physically
punched.
demanding.
Yeah, but you
don't
don't-
get me wrong. I don't want to sit here and as someone wrestling fans gonna get pissed if I say it's not as physically hard. But you don't get punched legit in the face like
Yeah,
you do in
yeah.
MMA. So
Yeah. Yeah,
You
don't
could
actually-
see, and then in Ronda Rousey's proven you can get a payday, still have a husband. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and actually, kind of live your life. So I can see why they're doing it.
So she's the next one that's going to show up, the unstoppable female wrestler, like Ronda Rousey was for about a year. She'll be the next one. Chris.
Well, Ronda
Cyborg.
Rousey's healing currently, correct?
Well, allegedly she's having babies.
Oh,
Did she get her ass kicked and then she quit?
Oh, that was in UFC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ronda No Heart.
Yeah.
Knocked the fuck out and then never came back to UFC. Then she went to WWE because she knew she wasn't going to get really punched. So she was, but she did WWE for a year, and now she's wanting to start a family and have babies. All the women and their baby crazy. Now E3 every year is the big expo. You two have any idea what that is?
Yeah.
No.
the Electronic
sorry.
Entertainment Expo.
Yeah, it's where all Xbox, Sony,
Yeah.
Nintendo, they display all the,
The
new
big
games,
reveals
new
for the
tech,
coming
stuff
year,
like that.
yeah.
And Sony wasn't there this year, so but the other
Sony
ones
was
were.
there, is still releasing information as you'll talk about in this
Yeah.
section, but didn't have a press conference
Yes.
as you traditionally have.
So Xbox came out, and Chris, is there anything exciting for Xbox that you're looking forward to? Or you,
Just the
pretty much-
games. The games look pretty cool, and then the Project Scarlet.
yeah.
Yeah, the new
But
system.
I told you, and I predicted that here on this show. No true information. We got teraflops. We
Yeah.
got producers. We got all these people talking
quick
about it.
flashes, but they never said what.
Nothing. No, like so somehow a proprietary GPU and CPU from ATI, but nothing. No, you know what I mean. 8 times more powerful
Yeah,
than the
8K,
Xbox
there's
One
almost an
X and
8K or
all.
something.
You know.
Now they're claiming both the PS5 and the new Xbox. The load times are be gone almost.
The SSD.
You're talking 2-3 second load time, and that's it.
Really?
Yeah. Now, as a working man, now how much would you
As a
pay
working-
for a new console?
Um,
How much would Christopher pay?
How much crap are you
not
shoveling?
no more than $600.
No more than 600.
That's about right. I'd say 6, especially a launch version. A launch version of the next gen, about 6.
And Christian, when you get back from the Marines and you got a job, and you want to buy a new PS5, how much you gonna pay?
$4.99.
5.
That was very specific. so,
Plus tax.
MSRP.
so most likely, if history serves correct, it'll be 600 when it comes out.
I think it
and
will
then
be
it'll drop a couple hundred.
$600?
Yeah.
Wasn't the
Yeah.
new
It'll launch at 6.
Xbox One? Wasn't the new Xbox One like $299?
It was $499.
When it first launches, I think the last gen was 600.
The Xbox One X came out at 500, and
Yeah.
the Xbox One S came out.
But
at
like the
500
true
too.
Xbox One, when it dropped, was 6. I'm 90% sure.
and then it went down.
They all come
well,
out.
Microsoft
at
did the
5, 6.
package deal. You get one
Yeah.
controller, this. So
Yeah.
there was a little different variance in prices. But.
Yeah.
So from what I saw from the Xbox, none of the games stuck out to me that were all that great.
The biggest omission to me was so you had a chance to really kind of put Google in its place with the Project X Cloud stuff. Microsoft barely talked about it. The only thing they talked about was stealing the Sony tech where you can stream from your home console to your mobile device.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
So you could turn your Xbox on in your room and then take a tablet, for say, and go down in the living room and play Forza on your tablet while you're watching
Streaming
TV with your mom or
within
sister.
your environment.
Yeah.
But apparently the
But
Sony
you can't get in
version-
your car and drive across town and do it.
The
That's not gonna
Sony,
work.
but they kind of imply that that's what's going to be happening with this new tech.
That's pretty cool.
It's cool, but the Sony has this tech and it's terrible, from what I understand.
yeah, PlayStation now sucks.
Yeah, and that's what everyone keeps saying. So if it's based on any kind of architecture in that arena, it's going to be terrible stuff. So I
But
don't
they
know.
didn't give us any prices. They didn't say anything how much it's going to cost.
They
It's coming
didn't
out in
push
October.
back at Google at all, and I thought so. Google got out front. We talked about it last week with the different product.
Have you guys heard about
packaging.
that Google Stadia? Do you know what we're talking about?
Yeah.
That
the streaming service?
Christian, so you know, you pay so much a month for Google, and they have big games, Assassin's Creed, Madden,
Big
whatever.
games.
Wow, allegedly.
Every
Assassin's Creed used
Arkham
to be
game
good.
you could want.
And then you could pull your phone out, and you could play that game without a console, right on your phone, tablet, whatever else.
Your
That's
Google
what it is.
Pixel 3 or
Yeah,
That's
whatever.
pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, but they're claiming it's only $10 a month, but then you got to buy the game on top of it.
And you know it's going to go.
That's kind of pointless to me.
That was the bummer out of what we
Yeah.
took away from it.
Yeah.
So those are the two. To Christopher's point, I think that the game lineup is strong.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm just telling you right now. Not so much but the new Halo, of course.
Watch Dogs.
Yeah, I
Watch
think it
Dogs is
looked
good.
really good,
Why-
man. There was a bunch of games.
Yeah, they were great games, but a lot of them were third party and they were on all systems. It's not just you needed.
Yeah, but like all the first party stuff available to Game Pass, I think that they
Yeah.
had a solid lineup with that. I don't know, man.
Battletoads, even though it looked, a little weird. Gears of War 5, and I thought Star Wars Jedi: The Fallen Order.
That looked great,
Both of those
too,
look
yeah.
great. Chris, you already pre-ordered the Star Wars game?
Yes.
It looks good. It looks really good.
Don't pre-order a game.
I
What's
did.
wrong with you?
Sometimes he
There's
does.
always a deal when it comes out, though.
I'm only gonna have a job for so long.
He's got to load up before his job's gone. And Halo Infinite, which is the new Halo you mentioned, doesn't come out until 2020. So
Yeah,
that's not
they're
this
saying it's going to be a
So this
launch
year-
title with Scarlet or whatever.
This year you can get Star Wars, you can get Gears of War 5, but you can't really get anything else.
And again, that Gears of
Borderlands
War
3.
available on
Borderlands
the game.
3 too, if you're a big fan.
Available on the Game Pass. Borderlands available on the Game Pass. I mean, that Game Pass stuff is looking really solid.
The other thing I had put on there, no mention of the Halo TV series is coming to Showtime.
Yeah.
I thought they would have that on there as well. Now, Cyberpunk 2077,
The Keanu
I've
Reeves
never
stuff,
played
man.
this.
Keanu Reeves
This
can't-
is the same group that made Witcher 3. That's why
It
everyone's
looked
excited.
pretty. It did.
Yeah,
It looked
looks
pretty.
like a futuristic first-person shooter. Have you seen the previews for this, Chris?
Yeah, I watched the trailer.
That biomech stuff that the guy had when I was like, it looked cool, man.
Does that look like something you'd play? Or
Yeah.
Those Witcher games are hard,
And
though.
Keanu Reeves allegedly is in the game as a villain or something. I'm not sure what he is. He's not playable. Like I said, Sony wasn't there, but there's a lot of Final Fantasy games coming out from Square Enix. Square Enix makes those. So Final Fantasy VII Remake that's finally...
And to your, I didn't know this was exclusive.
I didn't either
Yeah.
until they said that. So a lot of... I'm not... Anyone here like Final Fantasy? Christian or Chris? No? Yeah. I'm not a big fan. I was maybe when I was younger, but I sit there for 35 hours fighting blobbies. I'm good. It's so no thanks. Now Square Enix, they had a big Avengers game. The preview came out,
And
for
you
that.
said it looked a little muddy to you.
It
you
looks
weren't
weird.
And you know,
Did you
you're
see
not
the
the
trailer for the new Avengers
No.
game.
You're not the only one to say this. A lot
Yeah.
of sites were hitting it with like, I don't know about
See
this.
if you can pull up just a screenshot of what they look. It looks like you took an Avengers movie and you just had a guy kind of dress up like an Avenger. So it doesn't look.
Oh my god.
So they didn't make him look like the movie. It's kind of like a version of the movie. It's very weird. So just go to images and
This
see.
game has a big audience from what I've been
See how they
seeing
look?
on YouTube.
Yeah, they got a weird vibe
They
to
got
it.
a weird
Yeah.
look to them. That's the only thing I thought. Go scroll down. Show that Captain America. Can you scroll down?
I was going to try to see if it would go.
But yeah, Captain America looks beefy. Where'd the picture go? Yeah, see him?
Yeah.
Something looks off about those
Yeah.
characters. I don't know what it is. Maybe they could tweak. It doesn't come out till next May, anyways. But I think it's always online though. It's not like a single. It's not like the Star Wars game single player where you play through a story. This one's going to be always online.
Yeah.
So I don't know how exciting that is. So that was that. Tons of Final Fantasy Square. Nintendo. Oh man, I mean, if you're 7, Nintendo's great. Has anyone played Nintendo here?
I have a Switch.
You have a
The big
Switch?
thing you
Well,
don't
Marion
have-
has it, right?
Yeah, well, we have one.
The big thing you don't have on here is the big new Luigi's Mansion was a big
Oh,
push
yeah,
on
sorry, I
there.
forgot to put
Luigi
that
and
on there.
Gooigi or whatever.
Yeah. A lot of Smash Brothers stuff came out from Nintendo. Tons of characters from that Dragon Quest or whatever.
I
the hell it
enjoyed
was.
that.
Yeah,
You like
we-
Smash Brothers?
Yeah, I have
Switch,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, Holly has it. I enjoy playing through it, and tons of. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of stages, like different backgrounds for Smash Brothers, more than any other fighting game.
I thought the new Zelda, you thought the artwork looked a little odd to you. I thought it looked pretty decent. I enjoy anything that has a
Link's-
particular. What's that?
Link's Awakening. It
I
looks
think-
like those little Fisher Price people.
Yeah, but I'm saying like it's cool to have a perspective. Is all I'm
Yeah.
trying to say.
Well, I
like-
looked into that. That's just a remake of a 1992 Game Boy game.
Oh wow.
Yeah, then they're charging $60 for that, by the way, and the game's only like 8 hours
I've
long.
seen somebody play that on I don't know what console, but it was an old ass game.
It was probably
old.
Game Boy.
Yeah, it was the Game Boy. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what that Link Away. Now they're making Breath of the Wild 2. That's the one, the big Zelda game that came out.
Maybe
with
that's
it.
the one I saw the art style
Yeah,
too
yeah.
that I enjoyed.
I guarantee that Link's Awakening looks terrible.
Yeah, no, it probably was the Breath of the Wild. I don't know my Zelda games that deep, I'll be honest with you, but like one of them had a cool aesthetic, and I was like, okay.
And the Marvel Ultimate Alliance, I'm a big comic
I'm
nerd.
getting that.
Yeah. You could play we can play co-op, and like me, Holly and I.
Those
can
are
play,
really
Chris and
MUA
Marion can
games,
play.
as they call them all the time, are
Yeah.
really well thought of.
Yeah, well, this is more like Diablo.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like
Oh,
they
okay,
call them MUA.
mobile,
yeah.
And of course, there's a big swell up for Animal Crossing. I thought they were the stupidest games. People love them though. Have you ever played an Animal Crossing?
No.
It was stupid.
Yeah, it's you got little creatures.
You're farming and stuff like
It's
that.
terrible, but it's coming out now. The funny thing I thought about Nintendo was no mention of Metroid anywhere.
Yeah, but why, you're hung up on Metroid.
Because they made last year, they made a big announcement. They put
Oh,
the
yeah.
splash screen of Metroid up there, and So you think this year they would naturally show you the clips?
Dude,
from
it's
it.
a Nintendo console. Get your Mario Maker and keep it going.
But
That's
Metroid-
all you can do.
Yeah,
Metroid's a
he's
big
got-
part
yeah.
of Nintendo. It's Zelda, Metroid, Mario.
Dude,
That's
have you played a
everyone
Prime
knows that.
game and all
No,
that?
I'm not gonna play
They
this
control
Metroid.
like a tank.
I
They're
just thought it
terrible.
was funny they didn't show them. That's all I was saying. So whatever.
I think you're looking for something you don't want to play. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, pretty much. Now Bethesda, they make the Fallout games. I'm not a huge fan
My
of those.
game of the show came up out of this. Now
Is that Ghostwire
Ghostwire
Tokyo?
Tokyo. Did you see that trailer?
Yes, I saw it.
It's
It
very
doesn't make
sus-
much sense.
but
it looks
like-
like that Showtime show where half the people disappear.
I don't know, but like the visuals of it and just like the intrigue of why the cool effect of all the people dropping out and all that stuff. I thought it looked neat, and I want to see more. I need to know more about it. I definitely that was, and I put it in the notes, was like my show of the game of the show for me. I was like, what is this? I'm super intrigued.
And I guess it's kind of a mystery. You got to figure out where people went, and then you end up
Yeah,
fighting. You're
and
like
it's
a
somehow
ninja
it's an
guy.
action game.
Yeah. Have either one of you guys ever played a Doom game?
Yeah, I got the Doom on the Game Pass.
Did you like it or?
Yeah, it was
first
really-
person shooter. Christian, you ever played Doom? No, not a big fan. Are you mostly sports games? Is that what you play, or yeah? I figured that's what I used to play mostly. Madden
I
mostly.
would have a lot more games, but I broke my PlayStation. I'm gonna get an Xbox One sometime now.
Oh, you're gonna make the move to Xbox?
Mm-hmm.
I imagine they're gonna
I think
be.
it's better now. Everybody
And all this stuff looked in engine too. I'm super hyped on this.
Well, that's one
Ghostwire
thing I was
Tokyo
gonna say about
game.
Nintendo's thing. Most of their clips they showed game clips. It wasn't like CGI trailers like Xbox was.
Yeah.
So they did show. Now, Chris, you're saying Ubisoft Watch Dogs 3 that you
Yeah,
really
that's the
enjoyed.
game I'm looking forward to.
was
So
a cool
younger
concept.
generations, do you play that on multiplayer and stuff like that?
Yeah, I
Like,
played
people
once, two,
love
and
Watch
three.
Dogs. I found
What
this
is that?
out. I think we aged out of it, is what I'm saying. Like in a high school scenario and stuff like that. Like they
It's
love
like
Watch Dogs.
have you ever played Assassin's Creed?
Yeah.
It's like that, but modern day.
Yeah, it's like a digital thing.
Yeah, you have phones, you hack stuff.
Yeah.
It's open world. In this one, you get to have just an army of people. Like there's an old lady, you get to take over her and be the old lady. You know,
Does it
you
have
got-
good graphics?
yeah.
They're pretty games. A lot of Ubisoft games are pretty. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't deny their graphic
Yeah,
ability.
Ubisoft. Is good.
Gods and Monsters was their other game. This looks like they took the monsters from Assassin's Creed Odyssey and just made a whole game out of it where you're slaughtering monsters.
You didn't put on here the Rainbow Six
Yeah,
Zombies.
Outbreak thing.
What's that?
It's like it came from Rainbow Six. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like the
yeah, I forgot to
zombie.
put that on
Yeah, storming zombies.
The video game industry has beaten Nazis and zombies to death. I mean, how many goddamn
what
zombie
I want?
games do I gotta
I want
have?
a classic Rainbow Six, where like I'm thinking like old school PC first Rainbow Six, where you had to literally you felt like a SWAT team. They gave you a blueprint of the building, and you had to like dictate your path through the building and where there's going to be like possible encounters and stuff like that. So you were like a hostage rescuer. Like it was real slow, and I don't know how that works in like modern context, but like it would be super awesome if they could just put like a new flair on like that same type of concept where like you're trying to SWAT storm a building.
Yeah. Ghost Recon is one I'm looking
Who's
forward to.
in it? Someone.
That guy from Punisher, John
Yeah,
Breathwell,
okay, that's what it
his name.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he plays one of the men. Now, would you guys pay $15 a month for a Ubisoft service? Are you into Assassin's Creed that much?
I mean, the only game I really played about Ubisoft is Rainbow Six Siege and
Yeah,
Watch Dogs,
and Watch Dogs.
and that's it.
No Division? Not a Division guy?
Yeah, what's it with the roller champions? What-
I don't know. I just put on there, it's roller
I've
derby.
heard of that. What is Division?
Like that. Y'all living in here.
Oh, hey,
Oh.
Christopher, Marion, Christopher's sister, just stopped in. Just talking.
But yeah, the subscription service to it is super weird. Like to me, I don't know how many more subscriptions you think that like at some point we're getting to a
Who the hell's paying for Ubisoft? Nobody. Nobody's paying. I mean, you can get every Assassin's Creed for like $10 now. They're all on sale, so why would you pay for a subscription? So overall thoughts, what did you think?
I think my game of the show is Ghostwire Tokyo. I know Steve's is the Jedi game that
Yeah, I thought
really
the Star Wars
spoke to
game.
Steve. Anything you saw that looks really amazing that you would say is really going to be great?
Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
I think
into
that's
it.
a lot
Yeah.
of people. Unfortunately, you got to wait till what is it, March next year
Yeah, I
before
think
that
it's a
comes
late
out.
What is
game.
that, Cyberpunk?
It looks like a futuristic shooting game of some sort.
And it looks like it has like biomech kind of like over trappings in
Yeah,
it.
like you can connect computers through your hands and stuff like that.
Okay.
So UFC, Charles, what's happening in the UFC?
So the big thing, and this is more of an MMA talk. So last night they had the Bellator event. That's one that airs on Paramount Network all the time. So Chael Sonnen, who's an old UFC guy who retired from the UFC, he got beat by another UFC veteran. Lyoto Machida beat him. He finally announced his second retirement. He's actually hanging it up. The reason why people like Chael Sonnen, he's a loudmouth. He's more like a pro wrestler who happens to do MMA and not do pro wrestling. So he's one of the few that would talk a lot of crap and would really ruffle a lot of feathers. So he was an entertaining guy, and he's finally going to hang it up. He's one of the bigger ones on ESPN. He does a big MMA show for them. So I just thought I'd bring that up.
I think I saw that on Snapchat.
I'm sorry?
I think I saw that on Snapchat.
Yeah, I don't know about Snapchat, but sure, you know what I mean? Like, he's a big MMA guy. Now, the other big news that came out, too, is Daniel Cormier, when he fights Stipe Miocic, he's going to hang it up after the second time he fights Stipe Miocic. So that's a big deal because that Lesnar thing is definitely never, ever, ever going to happen. Yeah. The other thing, too, is you're not going to have another fight against John Jones with him. So he's done after this one. And then the other big news that came out was TJ Dillashaw finally talked about. So TJ Dillashaw was the guy who got caught for EPO. He came out and said he did it, and the reason why he did it was trying to cut weight to get down to the 125. And what's funny is, looking into the conversation, what he got, Procrit is the name of the drug that he was using. It's an anemia drug. So I don't know if that like affects your blood production or something, but that was what... PEDs are crazy, man. When you start looking into like what these people figure out and all this kind of stuff, super crazy.
Whole science to it.
Yeah, so he took this Procrit or this anemia drug to somehow help him cut weight and keep his body built enough to cut the weight. I don't know how it works, but pretty interesting that he finally came out and talked about that. And then the last thing is that bare knuckle fighting championship. Me, Steve, BV's on the hook if he's listening. You'll be in on it. Next Saturday, we'll do our live commentary from the studio here. We'll all be involved on that.
Have you guys seen this?
No.
He would love it.
They put two meatheads in a ring and they just punch each other. No gloves.
No gloves.
And just beat the
bare knuckles, son.
It's just a bloodbath.
Dude, it's great. Some of the best.
It's
crazy. It's on Facebook?
No, it's live streamed on the internet.
Who is it?
Huh?
Who is it?
What do you mean, who?
There's no names.
Well, I can go through. How deep are you in MMA? Do you really want to go down this road? Because like Artem Lobov, does that name ring a bell to you? Okay, he's like a Conor McGregor guy. He's fighting Paulie Malignaggi.
A lot of former UFC guys.
Chris Lieben is in there. Chris Lytle. I don't know how deep you are into MMA.
I think I've heard of him.
You guys like UFC? Have you ever watched it?
Yeah, I like UFC. I don't watch it a lot, but when I do.
Oh my God, I love it. So, but yeah,
Charles is a huge fan.
So this Saturday coming up, live stream, you can check it out. You'll hear us talking over it and all that kind of stuff. We're going to bring that in. We're going to bring BV in. Me, Steve, and BV are going to be talking so you can hear our thoughts.
The bare knuckle stuff, it's straight barbaric. It's crazy.
It's straight amazing. Is the
I don't
word
know
he was
how
trying
that's
to-
even legit. You just punch people in the face without gloves.
Check the Facebook channel. We're going to post all of our commentary. We obviously won't post the pay-per-view, but we're definitely going to have some commentary, so a little audio in there if they let us.
We went to a local MMA fight in Southgate. Guy broke his leg. His foot was like over here, and his leg was over there.
Like kicking someone?
I don't know. I think he just
No, he
landed
got
on
rolled
him
up
weird.
on. Yeah, it was a bad.
He
it was a bad
just
cover.
sat in the cage. You see his foot like off to the left.
I saw a video of a fight for the UFC. He jumped on this guy, put his knee into his eye, and his eye was like popping out.
Yeah, sounds like a plan. Sounds like something I would watch.
That's what they sign up for.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and they only make about $10,000 doing it.
Yeah.
10 grand a
So
fight.
anyway, big week coming up on that.
The lower end guys don't make nothing. The high end guys make millions. The low end guys, they're making beer money. It's just pretty much all they're playing for.
I'm just annoyed with this on your news. Go ahead with your news. How many more
Well,
retro?
let me ask the younger guys. Have any of you guys invested in those retro consoles like the Mini NES, Super Nintendo? Any of those? Do you guys even give a crap
I was gonna say
about
they don't
those?
care about them. It's
Yeah.
more sold to us. Like
So it's
30s
those old
and
fat
40s.
guys that they
Yeah.
want us. So TurboGrafx 16 was a system out when we.
Have you ever heard like legit style? Have you heard of a TurboGrafx?
No.
Do you know Bonk's Adventure?
Yeah.
Do you know any of that?
It was a
No.
system that came out right around the same time as Sega Genesis. So we were probably your age when this thing came out. So they're re-releasing a retro mini version of this thing.
There's also a Genesis coming out or
Yeah.
has come out. I don't know what.
But
the
I don't
rule
see the
is.
big deal of that one because you can go to Walgreens right now and get a Genesis. They have those all over the place.
Sega pimped out that.
Yeah,
name
they
or
hoard
whatever.
themselves off too much. I might be interested in this one because I never had a TurboGrafx when I was a kid. So a lot of these games I've never played.
Yeah, but I know you're going to be like, dude, they
I play
look
for a day.
terrible.
Yeah, I play for a day and
They're
then sell it.
unplayable. Like, your tolerance for that stuff is gone.
I'll keep
you
a
know?
receipt. I'll play it
Yeah.
for about an hour and then take it back. I'm like, oh, you can take this back.
And
But
so we're two pretty older gamers, and we're not into it. I don't know.
it's a very niche market for this one. Like, these
I
kids
would
don't even know
argue
what it
that
is.
like
Nobody
most people that
cares.
are, if I had a love for TurboGrafx, I've already emulated it on a PC. So I don't know.
So retro games are not your guys' thing. You can care less
I mean, I play them.
for what? Like,
what's like a retro game Chris has played? What you got?
Donkey Kong, like the big titles, not like
like Pac-Man,
subtitles,
Donkey Kong, Pitfall, things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They frustrate you with how like repetitively annoying they can be and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Totally different time, man.
Yeah, you play a beautiful game that looks like
That'll
a
never get old.
Mario. Yeah. Well, they're gonna pimp that out just as long as Sony makes Spider-Man movies. We'll all be dead and they'll still be making Mario. So Dune, I've never liked Dune.
I didn't either. This
It's
is
a
another
book
thing that,
series.
like your TurboGrafx point, it's lost on me here too.
There's a big movie coming out with Dave Bautista, Josh Brolin on Dune.
Does it look good?
I don't know. There's been nothing released on it. Just there's about 100 stars in it. That's all I know. A Dune movie, and then this TV series is coming to a streaming service.
Anyone in it?
The movie, yes. The series, no. I don't know anybody in the series yet. The
What's
series is
the
still in
premise
works.
of Dune? I don't even know.
It's this weird planet. It's all desert, and they got these giant worm things.
I've heard of
that
the
run around.
worms,
and then
yeah.
they got a mine for some kind of mineral or spice thing, and that's about all I
Spice.
know.
Nothing beats a good spice trade
It's-
sci-fi show.
My boss Randy loves it. I think it's
Well, ask him next time, like what endears him to it.
All I
guess.
know is everyone always loves the books. I guess there's a book series. And the book
Oh,
series
it's one
is
of
really
those.
good.
Oh, the book's so much better than the series.
Yeah,
blah 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 blah
well,
blah.
I watched the movie and it was terrible, so I don't know what the hell everybody liked about it. But Dune, the TV series, if you're into that, is coming out.
Steve came up with a bunch of news I could care less about.
yeah, pretty
I'm
much.
just saying.
And then Charles, you have one last rant. We'll get
Yeah.
these bored kids out of here.
Yeah, so the biggest one for me that I find so funny, here it is Father's Day. How come it's okay for Hollywood to show these dads as like complete idiots?
Oh, the Homer Simpson.
Yeah, like not even that. Like, so I think the worst show on the planet, and no one ever should watch, is that Outdaughtered show.
I've never even heard of it.
It's where this guy's got like 7 kids or something. I don't care. They're all daughters because they did some fertility thing or whatever. But the point is, the dad on the show is such a weenie. I just want to beat him over the head. He's one of these dudes that as soon as you leave him with the kids, he's like, I don't know what to do. And it's like, okay. You know what I mean? And then like the other thing I thought of, because I just watched Creed 2, Michael B. Jordan gets the kid for a day, and he's
it does it,
panicking.
yeah.
Like, how is that okay to show? Like that, for some reason, it's okay for as a dad to have no clue how to take care of a kid. But if you show a chick who's like a deadbeat, you're like bringing down women. Like
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
That's
Like
true. It's
it makes no
inequality.
sense. This is all I'm saying. Like it's okay to be like this.
I forgot about that in Creed 2.
He called the mom, like, what do I do? What do I do?
He drove the kid over to his
Yeah,
mom's
meanwhile,
house.
they had
Yeah.
showed the mom of the kid, like, oh, it's like, oh, you shouldn't disparage women like that. It's so bad. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my whole thing. Is like, it's okay to show a weenie dad, but you know what I mean?
But
Like,
the mom's always got to be the smart one.
yep, every time.
Well, that's Me Too movement. It's all Chris's fault.
Your generation.
Entertainment.
Yeah, that's true.
You can come on in.
What the hell are y'all talking about for this long? You've been
It's
here
over
for almost an
now.
hour.
We're
Sorry
done
you
now.
don't have hobbies.
Yeah.
You have hobbies.
What do you got? Join the mic. Talk to us. What hobby you got?
Well, he plays the drums. Did he tell you that?
You can tell us a hobby you have.
Nails, hair.
Talk to
hair
us about nails.
extensions.
How much do you spend on nails? Come on, you got to get
I
on a
don't
mic.
spend any money on nails. I got all the stuff now. I just do them.
The stuff costs money, is what I just is implying.
All over time. I've got
Yeah.
tons of crap.
Yeah. Just so what's
I've got
funny
tons of
is
tattoo stuff too.
what you don't realize. So as a maintenance guy, right? At one point, oh, you just pulled out his headphones. Good job, Christian. So at one point we had to do, long story short, like a side work thing. Anyway, my boss was telling me that when he pulled out the air filters out of a nail salon, the chemicals that are in the air eats the air filters.
In a
It
nail
is
salon?
so yeah.
believe
It
that.
is so bad that you can literally put your hand through like the air filters and all
What
this
kind
kind
of
of
chemicals
stuff.
are you using in
Dude,
them
well,
damn
you
nail
see-
salons?
It's the acrylic.
Well, that's what I find so funny. So, like, you look in these nail salons, to Trisha's point, you look in there, and these little Korean women got these, like, particle masks on. That's not doing anything for the chemicals that are in the
Yeah,
air.
just
Like,
going through that mask.
congratulations. Yeah, you're not sucking in the chunks, but you're breathing in the chemicals.
They're
You
all
know what I
gonna
mean?
have black
Like,
lung in 10 years.
yeah, it's a crazy thing, man. It's one of those things that not a lot of
They
people
have
talk about.
gels now that are like the shellacs that use the UV lights and it doesn't have any odor whatsoever.
You can die
Other
from
than the
anything
automatic.
nowadays.
Oh, listen to Chris.
Yeah, it's
That's
pretty
all
much
I'm
gonna kill you.
Yeah, it's pretty nutty. But anyway, that was my whole thing. What do you think about dumb guys on Hollywood shows? How they always show a dad who panics when you hand him a kid. It's the truth, isn't it?
No.
Yeah, see? But Hollywood can
You
do
have
it.
some guys that are like Martha Stewart's homie dudes, and then you have other guys that don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like you.
It's all
You were
scripted.
spaz.
You have no idea. You weren't anywhere near me. How do you know I was a spaz?
Because you were with Christopher.
Well,
Oh my
yeah.
God,
And
look at his fingers. They're so small. Don't touch him. Leave
you're gonna
him
put his
there.
finger in there. It wasn't my kid. I want to break him. Anyway,
Well, that's going to wrap us up
big
for
get
this week.
for us is the big Kentucky crew.
We'd like to thank everyone from Kentucky for being up here. Christian, Christopher, thanks for being on. You can catch us on Apple iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, everywhere you can see it.
You watch what?
Okay, and then we're ordering pizza.
And now we're gonna go eat some pizza.
So, until next week, next Saturday, we'll catch you later. Have a good one.